The urgency, the emotion, it is all a part of the fabric weaved into the NCAA Tournament, and March Madness continuing here from Cameron Indoor Stadium. The Cornhuskers in red, the Baylor Bears in gold, the 6th seed here in Durham. Britt Prince gets an open look to start things off, rolls up and hits the top of the backboard out of play. Let's take a look at our starting lineups, brought to you by Capital One. For Baylor, Kelly mentioned Taliah Scott, number 0. Watch out for her. 20 points per game for the redshirt sophomore, playing at her first NCAA tournament. Ariana Littlepage Buggs, Bella Fauntleroy, a real base of this team. Jana Van Geitenbeek, also a veteran in the lineup. And as Littlepage Buggs has the first points. Starting 5 for Nebraska, we told you about the fabulous sophomore Britt Prince. Amaya Hargrove, also another really talented sophomore in the starting 5. Callan Hake, senior guard, put up 14 points in the win on Wednesday.
Have already played a game, played in this building, played well. Nebraska hit 11 threes, or do you want the rest like Baylor? We'll see how that plays out in this matchup.
Kirsten Johnson working with her left hand. Senior transfer from Oklahoma, spent the last 3 years there, but you watch Nikki Collin work on the sideline, her 5th season as head coach. You talk to these Baylor players, they love to play for this woman. And the system that she has brought, as Taliah Scott told us, guards flourish in this system, and she wanted a part of that. Bella Fauntleroy fired up after that bucket.
Baylor's size is going to be a problem for Nebraska. And Littlepage Buggs scores on the first possession. They go inside to Bella Fauntleroy, a 6-foot player who plays the 3 for them. She has impressive size on the perimeter. We'll see how Nebraska can deal with it. I think you're going to see Maupin come off the bench. You're going to see some Petrie, because these Baylor bigs, they're formidable.
There's Prince. What a handoff there. Good pass to Bojan, who just can't finish. Another shot from deep. This goes through. First points in the game for Taliah Scott.
Coach Nikki Collin loves the way Taliah Scott can score. When she went in the transfer portal, Coach Collin felt like it was a perfect fit.
Nebraska has been a popular upset pick by some, but this is no easy task.
They were so much better defensively than they have been their last 7. So if they can channel that defensive urgency we saw early in the year, that was ranked so highly in the polls.
The senior playing in March, you watch number 14 out here, because she showed that in the first 4 with her 14 points, knocked down 4 of her 5 3-point attempts.
Baylor is trying to go to that Fauntleroy matchup. Whichever Nebraska guard draws Fauntleroy, they're trying to exploit that because of her size at 6 foot, playing the 3 for Baylor. Which is wild. Scored a run last weekend when the basketball team had a break between the conference tournament and the NCAA tournament. Just threw on her softball uniform, pinch run, get on the board.
Cross-town play. Under 10 here. Hargrove from distance is good. 40% three-point shooter.
From a volume standpoint. And Coach Nikki Collin was telling us they need to see some of those threes go down today against Nebraska. And Fauntleroy, I love how aggressive she's been from the jump. She's been up and down this year, but a couple games ago had 16 points against K-State. Coach Collin was saying, hey, maybe that's the breakout game heading into March.
She has 5 already. Senior for the Bears, playing in her 8th NCAA tournament game. Hake has her first triple of the day.
Hake loves Cameron Indoor. She shot the ball so well in that first 4 games. 4 of 5 from 3. The senior, she does not want to stop playing. We've got a good one here in Durham. One of the best programs in women's basketball history. 3 national championships. Incredibly impressive what Kim Mulkey built at Baylor. And Nikki Collin trying to keep that going. Sweet 16 2 years ago, continuing to recruit really well and picking up Taliah Scott in the transfer portal. She has that level of talent that we're used to seeing from some of those great Baylor guards on the national championship team.
Baylor recovering quickly. Haley Weaver out to Maupin. Nebraska just 2 of 11 to start the game. Hanging in there though. Baylor has taken 6 threes. They've yet to hit one. They've hit some inside, but haven't had that outside presence start to fall just yet. Look at that effort on the glass. Still another one. I mean, this possession just continues for Little Page Bugs, and Baylor who are putting on an offensive rebounding clinic.
Missed a few shots, but that's okay if you continue to rebound. You're going to eventually convert. 4 offensive rebounds for Baylor so far in this game. Now 5 after that possession.
Hit a 3 for Nebraska earlier this quarter. But it's been nearly 3 minutes for Nebraska without a point. This is a player I know you're really excited to watch, Kelly. Yuting Deng, the Auburn transfer, sophomore out of China. So much potential.
One of the most talented players in the Big 12, just from a pure talent standpoint. Continuing to adjust to the college game, was at Auburn last year, was on the all-freshman team. But she can absolutely score. She had 22 points against Texas Tech this year. Can shoot the 3 as one of the purest strokes that you'll see. And Nikki Collin excited about what she can do offensively, still learning maybe the expectations for her defensively. But that's why that Baylor bench got so excited when Dunn just forced that turnover, denying that pass.
She's got another open look for 3. That is beautiful.
She can blow a game open. She has that potential coming off the bench.
10-0 Baylor run. Nebraska timeout on the floor. The Bears bringing it, and now adding some threes.
Every single shot with the mindset that it's going in.
Second personal foul whistled there on Little Page Bugs for Nebraska. Well, the Huskers need to get working on this end. Nisley, that'll help, right?
The 3 ball will help.
Bears back in possession. Up 8 here in the first quarter. Final few seconds ticking off the clock at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Scott has it in her hands. Takes a deep 3. And that is how quarter 1 comes to a close. Nebraska.
This is the Baylor defensively that we saw towards the beginning of the year.
This is a Nebraska team in 19 games this year, averages 79 points per game on the season. Put up 75 in the win against Richmond in the first 4 on Wednesday. Bojan had it tipped away, certainly affected by Fauntleroy.
Let's see if she can channel that in this tournament, her last.
Hargrove working around Dunn, can't get it to fall.
Good job by Hake, the awareness of finding Dunn in transition, because you know she wanted to let that fly.
The double team coming over, but not in time. You said Colin Hake has a school record 33 charges taken this season. Didn't get herself set. So Hake on the bench with 2 fouls. And a foul against Baylor sends Logan Nisley to the ground. NCAA Tournament first round loss ever happened here in Durham. Just a little bit of history for you. And then Amy Williams also knows this building well. Came here as a player with Nebraska in her freshman season. Scott, neither team's leading scorer has been able to get going yet. It's had to be others stepping up so far. Scott has an open look on the baseline. That could be just what she needs.
That was such a good pass, too, from Jana Van Geitenbeek to find Scott. And the defense was behind because of the pass. Taliah Scott gets to the rim.
Hake. Williams open for 3. Prince has it batted away, but a foul called. Nebraska trying their best to get some points in the paint. Might have to earn it on the free throw line. Prince on the free throw line. Over a 90% free throw shooter. Has her first point of the game.
We have some incredible free throw shooters in this one. Britt Prince and then Taliah Scott, also a 90% free throw shooter. so rare, and that is the stat that is most impressive to me, especially from a guard, to be a 50, 40, 90 player, which means you shoot over 50% from the floor, 40% from three, 90% from the free throw line. There are 4 players in the country that can do that, and only 2 in the tournament. Britt Prince and Gianna Neepkins from UCLA.
Talk about being an efficient scorer. Those numbers certainly back that up. Nisley coming off the screen. He's got 8 for Nebraska. And finally, the Huskers able to hit something other than a 3. You said they were going to have a little bit better balance. Nisley doing the honors.
Than most people would have predicted, and Taryn Barbeau, 36 points. The most points by a player against Duke this season. She was fantastic for Charleston.
All right, NCAA field. The bar has been set. What you got? The Barbeau has been set. Gotta get that one in a little more. Speaking of getting them in, that's the 3rd triple by Nisley. Man, the 3 keeping the Huskers alive.
Nisley may be coming.
A little out of control as Taliah Scott goes flying into the basket, manages to draw the foul. You said what a great free throw shooter she is.
But she needs to continue to be aggressive for Baylor.
McDonald's All-American in high school out of Florida. As mentioned earlier, played just 3 games before injury, and when we talked to her yesterday, we said, it must feel like a long time coming to make this NCAA tournament debut, and she said, yes, indeed.
Did she just miss 2 free throws, Jen?
Well, 4th team foul. The next one would put Baylor on the free throw line.
And Kennedy Williams is just, she's that pest. She's that type of defender that is annoying in a good way if you're on her, if she's on your team, right? Just scrappy and making life tough for Taliah Scott right now.
Baylor will get the opportunity to shoot. Kayla Nelms, 6'1" sophomore out of Miami, Florida, up to the free throw line, 70% shooter on the season. This is kind of the makings, it feels like, of one of those grinded out type games.
Credit Nebraska, because Baylor came out firing in that first quarter, 19-11. I thought Nebraska looked tired having played on Wednesday. But they want this game to be much more of a grinded out game, and they have been able to change the pace to make it feel that way in the second quarter.
As Hargrove drives here and gets that to go. Bears have missed their last 4, hanging precariously to a 2-point lead. They've led by as many as 11 in this first half. Nebraska has never had the lead. Could that change here?
Speaking of turnovers, that's the 6th turnover for Baylor in this quarter. They've gotten a bit sloppy with the basketball.
Baylor finishing the year 3rd in the Big 12. Had a big showdown with TCU the final day of the regular season as Prince gives the Huskers their first lead of the game.
Lincoln East, that's where we are. Nebraska feels so comfortable shooting the 3 ball in this gym. 6 for 12 today, hit 11 on Wednesday night.
And now the takeaway defensively and an open look down the floor for Petrie. Give her 2 more. And the Huskers loving what they've seen these last few minutes, a 7-0 run. Abraham inside. As you may have heard when we showed you inside the locker room pregame, to play with urgency. They've looked that way. Hit nearly 50% of their threes. Kept Baylor quiet in this quarter. The Bears just 8 points in the second quarter, and it is a 1-point Nebraska lead at the half.
Nebraska believes you can.
One team has advanced from the first 4 to the round of 32. That was Mississippi State in 2023.
And people don't know, Jen called that game with Mississippi State. Both those games where they advanced to the second round. So maybe that's just what you're meant to be, to do.
We'll see what unfolds here. This the 5th year, as I correct my math per usual, of the first 4. Got a little messier, a little grit.
with these stars. Taliah Scott for Baylor, Britt Prince for Nebraska. Both players held in check in the first half. Who can emerge? Who can will their team to a victory here in the NCAA tournament?
Drive to the basket, a foul drawn by the graduate transfer through their march, in March, if you will. And how about that? I always love to see a good triple-double, and she's in pretty elite company at Baylor. One of 4 players in program history to have put up a triple-double, which she did earlier this year. 10 points, 13 assists, 10 boards back in December.
When you join a list that Brittany Griner is on at Baylor, that means you did something right.
Well executed. Her only made field goal of the first half, by the way, that put Nebraska in the lead with just about a minute and a half to go, 120 to be exact in the second quarter. Good interior defense being played right now by the Huskers. They're outsized, but we wouldn't know it. A couple of blocks on back-to-back possessions. 10 on the shot clock. Little Paige Buggs got off to a hot start, was scoring early but quiet since, and she lost it on the way up. 1 on the shot clock. Excellent defensive possession there by Nebraska.
Excellent defense by Amaya Hargrove, giving up a little size to Little Paige Buggs. Quick hands, smart play, and this Nebraska front court has been much better since the first quarter.
Oh, the Bears get it back. And then Guyton going back to the free throw line as a result.
They're going to miss her presence. We'll see how long Coach Williams leaves her on the bench.
Tie game at 30. Then Guyton swings the Bears back out in front. For 4 points from the free throw line, the only points of this quarter so far. Now playing a little defense on Williams. Prince. That's the 3 she needs to see.
I like Nebraska playing Britt Prince off the ball. Let Williams handle the ball, bring it up, deal with the pressure, and let Britt Prince be a scorer. Great pass by Williams.
She is nearly a 46% three-point shooter on the season as Fauntleroy gets a clean, easy look inside. Nisley, her 3 made threes, a big part of Nebraska's push in the first half. Prince steps back, had it blocked. Long arms of the 6'4" Kirsten Johnson making a difference.
Johnson and Abraham for Baylor have shown how versatile they can be defensively.
Little Paige Buggs, she has 6. Little Paige Buggs, 6 points, 4 rebounds in the game. She averages a double-double. Only player in the Big 12 in each of the last 2 seasons to average a double-double.
Tough development for Baylor.
Sophomore Yuting Deng back into the game as Little Paige Buggs goes to the bench. Dunn came in, promptly knocked down 2 threes when she entered in the first half. Look at that cut and the pass, run to perfection as Prince. Bears have a big advantage on the boards. They're plus 11. Prince beating everybody down the floor.
Callan Haig back in the game for Nebraska with those 3 fouls.
Then Guyton, tough shot. Prince the rebound.
A lot of one-on-one for Baylor on offense.
There's that cut, the pass, not the finish, but the offensive rebound. No! Hargrove just stays with it. Playing through the contact like her dad in the NFL and drawing the foul. Look like Hargrove. You know it. There he is watching his daughter play. We got a good one. Trying to become just the second First Four team ever to make it through to the round of 32.
Nebraska looked flat. They had just played a whole game. They had a late practice yesterday. They had the last practice of the day. and you've got to push through to that second level where you're not thinking about how tired you are. Nebraska got to that point in the second quarter.
How about for Baylor? Obviously, they want to try to get Scott going. She'll go to the free throw line.
It worked. She got to the free throw line, but I think Little Paige Buggs has to be more involved. She has a mismatch. She has the athleticism. And then Bella Fauntleroy, she's a mismatch problem too at 6 foot. Right now she's playing the 4, can play the 3. She was really aggressive in the first quarter, and we haven't heard much from her since. But she has to be confident for her teammates for this team to have success.
Nisley going inside to Petrie with the left. Yes!
Petrie's come to play. She's been a difference maker for them inside.
Open look, passed up by Fauntleroy, drives instead, draws the foul. It's going to be the second on Hargrove.
And the Nebraska men look good. They're a pretty high seed. They could make a run. This could be a magical March, perhaps, for the Huskers.
ESPN Analytics said, look, Nebraska moving up a little bit. They were a little lower, but after their win in the first 4, they're right up there with Virginia.
Now they have the best chance, and the 11-6 is a very popular upset pick in the women's game because of the numbers. 31% of the time, the 11 seed beats the 6. So this is kind of the 12-5 game on the women's side, if you will.
Petrie, the drive. It is a blocking foul. Count the basket. Petrie going to the free throw line. Chance for the three-point play. The eyes of the officiating crew didn't quite get there in time, and there is a three-point play. 5 points in this quarter, 7 in the game for Petrie. Dunn getting into the lane, lost the handle, goes the other way.
Dunn hit those 2 threes in the first quarter very quickly off the bench, but has been quiet since.
Prince getting into the paint. It was touched, and it is called a foul. Dan Guyton. Prince averaging over 17.5 points per game. First team all Big Ten performer by the media, second by the coaches. Distinctive look with the headband and the flowing locks. You don't see a lot of people playing with the hair down, but she's done it since she was a kid. Growing up, going to camps at Nebraska. Doesn't look an awful lot different there when she started going to camps, and Amy Williams was there keeping her eye on this really talented local young product.
She looks the exact same as she did at Nebraska basketball camp. And how about a block from Britt Prince? We talked to her, Jen, after the win over Richmond. What does it mean to play for the school you grew up loving? What a block from Prince. And she said it means everything to get her first NCAA tournament win at Nebraska. She's just a sophomore, looking to do more damage. I love when you see homegrown kids stay home and play for the school they grew up loving. We saw it last night in the first four with Kimora Johnson, leading Virginia to a win, crying in the post-game interview because of how much it means to her.
That is a big and much-needed three by Van Guyton. This play worked before for Prince. It works again, and Nebraska feeling confident now, up 6. That is the lead that they will take. The 11 seed over the 6-seeded Baylor Bears with 10 minutes left to play in Durham, North Carolina. Cornhuskers, the 11 seed, looking to become just the second first 4 team to advance to the round of 32. And Britt Prince reigns in the third quarter, doesn't she? 10 points in the third quarter in the first 4 on Wednesday, 11 today. What will the fourth bring for the Huskers, and will the Bears find their way back into it?
And what does Amy Williams say to her at halftime, and what does she eat at halftime? Because whatever it is, it's working. Her third quarters in this tournament have been incredible.
She's left open for 3. Bad idea.
Britt Prince trying to become the Queen of March for Nebraska. She has been so good knocking down big threes. She's an incredible three-point shooter. 45% from beyond the arc, making Baylor pay for going under the screen.
Largest lead of the game for Nebraska. And Baylor, you just feel like there's so much potential left untapped. There's a wide open look. Can the Bears get a little more of that?
Only 3 turnovers for Nebraska in that third quarter. The first quarter was bumpy for them from a turnover perspective, but they've taken much better care of the ball since.
Nisley hit a few big threes in the first half, has yet to score in the second. Little Page Bugs. Abraham again left open. Eventually Petrie came over, did just enough. And Guyton-Beek, big three.
And Jen, this is where legs come into play for Nebraska. They played in the first 4. They played Wednesday night.
Well, she's picked up her dribble. Petrie lost it. Little Page Bugs leading the break for Baylor. Spins into the paint, goes to her right. Baylor within 2. Baylor, of course, looking to extend their stay in Durham.
Baylor
Prince
has to be careful from a foul perspective. Already 3 fouls in the quarter. They're being really aggressive.
How about that shot fake?
How many times have we seen Kennedy Williams on the floor? And this is beautiful. Pump fake, 1 dribble, and a great job by Petrie. When you pump fake and the defender flies by and you're beyond the 3-point line, stay behind the 3-point line. Take this dribble, sidestep, take the 3. Don't step in and take the mid-range. Really smart from Petrie.
Well, our colleague in the studio, Megan McEwen, knows this Nebraska team well, said Petrie is an X factor. She's been that today for Nebraska. Johnson has her first points of the game, and some pressure now. Full court from the Bears. Another tie-up. This one belongs to Nebraska. And Baylor really making it tough, and they do take it away.
That's also a really tough spot to inbound the ball that far down the sideline.
Scott sizing up the defense, waits for them to come. Johnson, DeFont Leroy. 1 point Nebraska leads, led by as many as 9. They've seen that shrink to a single digit. And now the Bears with a chance to retake the lead. Great movement from the Bears. They continue to get good looks on the inside.
4 minutes to go. Who wants it more? Which seniors want it more? And can Baylor find a way to claw back in? They've been doing it for most of the second half. Nebraska was with a great third quarter.
That free throw from senior Kirsten Johnson ties it. And that is where we'll stay at the moment. Tied at 53, 4 to go. Prince, 19 points in the game to lead the Huskers. Petrie continues to have a massive game, and both players go flying to the floor. There's extra juice and intensity in every possession, as you would expect.
Indeed, and both these players fighting for it. Fauntleroy trying to get in for a jump ball to see that there was something there, possibly an unobserved, and then to appeal it.
Taliah Scott on the line, 2 of 4 today for the 90% free throw shooter, junior transfer from Auburn. First lead for the Bears since it was 35-33. Make it 2.
Nebraska has had some turnover issues in this fourth quarter. Baylor needs to take care of the ball so they can get good looks.
Baylor outscoring Nebraska 14-6 in the fourth. Scott working on Williams. Doesn't give up any ground. 8 on the shot clock. Then Guyton-Beek has to pull it back out. Now pass it. Little Page Bugs. Contact. Foul. Baylor shooting free throws. And that is 5. Really have to step up here down the finish. Mariana Littlepage Bugs at the free throw line, just a 60% free throw shooter on the season. 9 points in the game to go along with 8 rebounds for the senior out of Oklahoma City. Rebound to the Huskers. 8-0 Baylor run to take this 3-point lead. Britt Prince had a huge third quarter for Nebraska. Just 3 points so far in the fourth. 7 on the shot clock. Prince with the ball in her hands. Thought about the shot. Kept on going. Looking for contact and was able to draw it. Third personal on Scott. Prince 4 of 4 at the line. Had a stretch this season where she hit a school record 56 straight free throws. None bigger than those two right now. Her season on the line. Her team clawing closer after having the lead in this game, as many as 9 points. Now down 1. Littlepage Bugs. Big shot. Could see her immediately hitting her chest saying, my bad. Taking ownership. Prince taking ownership. And Abraham thought she had that block clean. Instead, it's called a foul. This is a shooting foul, so Prince would be up there anyway. But from here on out, any foul is going to put Nebraska on the line.
That's what you want when you are in the bonus down the stretch, fourth quarter of the NCAA Tournament.
A little extra rattle to draw the gas from the crowd, but it falls through anyway. Back to a 1-point Baylor advantage. Winner of this game gets the Duke Blue Devils, the 3 seed here in Durham on Sunday. Scott doing all she can to will her team through to that next round. Fourth personal on Kennedy Williams. She's back to the bench. Scott on the free throw line. 8 points in the game. 2 of 10 on the day. For Tournament Game Times and Networks, you know where to go. NCAA.com. I tell you what, you are seeing 2 elite free throw shooters step up for their teams in their biggest moments and knock them down. Scott for Baylor, Prince for Nebraska, under 2 to go. Prince working on Abraham, gets past her, puts it off the glass and in.
That's a mismatch. Abraham has been very solid when switched onto Prince and switched onto a guard this afternoon, but that time Prince using her speed, getting to the rim. 25 points in the game for the sophomore. And a foul called against Nebraska before this play really gets going. What a tournament for Britt Prince. 22 in the first 4 on Wednesday, 25 today. Is there more to come? Littlepage Bugs, a senior, on the line for Baylor. 6 points in this fourth quarter. She has really come alive when her team has needed her most. She is a rebound away from another double-double. And puts Baylor back in front by 3. And you wonder, does it have to be someone other than Britt Prince to carry the load offensively? This illegal screen isn't going to help. Just over a minute to play in the fourth quarter of this first round matchup. The Baylor Bears have come alive in the fourth after a quiet third quarter. Timeout, Nikki Collin and the Bears. Now, she scored a lot, 25 points in the game, but her team now down 3. Let's see how Baylor handles this possession. Both teams in the bonus. You can't afford.
Oh, wow. They're going to say Fauntleroy, the senior, stepped on the line. Have a short memory. Look, Taliah Scott's been doing that today, not having the game offensively she wants, but she stepped up, hit some big free throws. And Amy Williams is hot over there on the sideline for Nebraska. Under a minute to go. Prince passes it off. Nisley turns it right back over to the Bears. Good hands by Abraham, anticipating that pass inside. About a 15-second difference. Shot clock, game clock.
You don't need to foul, but you need to get a stop.
Remember, Scott, 90% free throw shooter. She's driving. She's daring this team to try to stop her, and they can't. For Taliah Scott, that's her first field goal since the second quarter, and a massive one it is.
Taliah Scott.
5-point Baylor advantage. Nebraska gets it to Britt Prince. Prince is going right to the basket for two. Baylor calling timeout, so the Bears now can advance. Will we get that rematch, or will Nebraska have something to say about it? Baylor ball, 3-point lead. How does Nebraska play this?
You need to go for the steal and then foul right away, but you don't want the ball to get to Taliah Scott, and a good job by Baylor. 2 of those on that unobserved flagrant one. That was a massive turning point in this game, and you cannot say enough about Nicki Collen appealing that and allowing that call to be made.
Miss from the line for Scott. Keeps it a 3-point, 1-possession advantage for now. Now the lead expands to 4. Nebraska with their season on the line. Prince picks it up. Guarded by Fauntleroy.
They're trying to get Nisley on the flare, but well defended.
Now Prince drives. Maupin in off the bench. 4th foul on Scott for Baylor.
The Nebraska coaches were talking, and now that she missed that first one, it doesn't really matter, but I think they were discussing if she had made the first to purposely miss the second and try to get a tap out. But without making the first, you just got to try to make the second.
That she does. Prince fouled immediately the last time Baylor had possession. The Bears trying to get it to Scott, and Prince committing the foul before the ball is inbounded. So Scott will go to the free throw.
Let it lie. You're up 3. No point in considering an appeal at this point.
Scott on the line, the redshirt sophomore in her first ever NCAA Tournament appearance. It's been a long time coming. Told us she could not let her confidence drop, even when the shots weren't falling. She's done it from the free throw line today. And now the hurdle even bigger for the Huskers. Prince will let go the 3, but time has run out on Nebraska. Baylor fights back, hangs on, advances to the second round.
The Bears, they scratch, they